almost back at a antibody activation. He opts for the shield. I'm like, nope, 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 nope. Jill is a super fun character from the Resident Evil series who utilizes the explore mechanic combined with her awesome hero art, specifically antibody activation, which allows you to find creative answers to your opponent's strategies. Now, this free-to-play deck is designed to give you a glimpse into Jill's playstyle while also not breaking your budget. Antibody activation is the hero art of choice for Jill. It gives you so much value. It costs 15 AP, and if you have explored 3 or more times, you get to give any of your units +1, +3, amazing stats, and shield on top of it. So you're talking trade master, value master for Jill Valentine. For the cards, we're starting off with Claire Redfield. Once you've got your explore count to 3 or more, she does 6 damage to the unit in front, and that is some insane damage for removal. Now, don't worry that she is an epic card. She is a Jill specific card. So if you just gotta level up Jill a bit, and you will get her for free. The rest of the deck is just gonna be commons and rares, nice on the budget. Hellbat is a 2/1 flyer for 3, and when it explores, you get detonation. Is a spell card which costs 2 but does 6 damage to the enemy unit. Very efficient. Ed is an ascending card, and when you ascend him he gets +1, +2, but he already comes with combo as a 1/5, which gives him some decent striking power when combined with antibody activation. Mega Tortoise is a new clutch super cool card from the Force Seekers, and he's a 1/5, but his ability is where the juice is. When a friendly unit dies other than itself, it does 3 damage split among enemy units. Now you can use this right before your opponent dies and just get a lot of value and just kind of keep racking it up. It also helps that he's kind of like a bait if you want your opponent to use some removal on him, so you can stick some of your other spicy cards. Blizzard Wolffang is a 3 mana 2/5, and when he dies you explore for trauma. Lets you halt an enemy unit for 13 seconds. It's going to allow you to make favorable trades and also stop anything like super annoying from killing you before you kill your opponent. In this deck that is just straight up in the deck, it costs 3, it does 2 damage to an enemy unit, but when your explore count is 1 or higher, you do 5 damage, and that 5 damage is super easy to hit with all the explore cards in this deck. And 5 just like kills a lot of units that cost like 4 or less just straight up. So it's a really good damage to be hitting, especially for 3. Good mana trades there. Now we finally are moving into our 4 costs. This deck only costs 3 and 4. We have Carlos Oliveira, 4 mana for a 3/5, excellent stats. And when he's played, you get a shield, which can really help you kind of counterspell damage spells and save your units to make favorable trades. That's what this game's all about. Next we have Rashid. He is a 4 mana 2/5, so maybe a little lacking for a 4, but he's got the combo to back it up, and when he's growth, you do damage equal to its attack to enemy units. So one nice thing you can do in this deck is buff him up with the antibody activation, and then he's going to start doing 3 damage and just get a little bit of extra value out of this boy. Next, we've got Gendrome, a 3/4 for 4. Now his health is a little bit lacking, but that 3 power is no joke, and he does trade pretty well with things that have 6 HP or 6 defense, whatever you want to call it. And when he's played, you get Explore. We love exploring. We're adventurers here. So the card you get from exploring Gendrome is Genprey. It is only 1 mana for a 2/2 creature that's potentially a 3/2 if your opponent has a 4 HP or less on the field. You can pop this guy out for making some quick ascends, from nice chump blocks. Very versatile. The fact that it only costs 1 means you can get it out of your EX pocket so you can keep on exploring. And we've also got Spiral Pegasus, a 2/4 for 4. When played, he does 2 damage to the unit in front, but when he's ascended, you do 4 damage split among all enemy units. So if your opponent only has 1 unit, you could just slap straight on that one, because ascend means you can play him in any lane, even if you're clogged up. Very good and useful removal to have in this deck. Alright guys, I wanted to show you some gameplay for this Jill Valentine deck. Show you that even though it's budget, it can compete with some really strong decks such as Yan Chun-Li. Although, you know, disclaimer, people may be playing poorly and people may have bad hands. That's just how it goes sometimes. So you'll notice that in this deck, in this match, I have Guy. I was still experimenting a little bit when I recorded this, but it's such a good game. I just had to show you guys. So instead of Guy, I have Ed in the deck right now. I felt Ed was better for that combo power you're getting. So here you see, okay, pause. He plays the orangutan, and I'm like, I do not want that to kill my Guy, because then he's going to do that victory +2/+4 is going to be a pain. So I hit him with a last second detonation and take him out nice and clean. But like I said, Ed just has the combo factor. He has the ascend, so you can kind of improve your board if you're clogged up, and maybe get some death effects for like Wolfgang if you really need it. It just helps you get the positive trades. I felt it was much better than the Guy. And so that's what we got here. So we're just kind of fleshing him out. He's kind of like forced into an odd situation here. He plays the Karen Raw. I don't know. He played the Turtleoid Raw. I'm feeling like, you know what? I'm not too upset right here. I really wanted the antibody activation, but I only had two. I only had two. Come on. But here we're gonna get a nice trade there. I'm not sure how all that worked out in our favor, because without him getting the pluses, but Mega Tortoise coming in clutch there. And then once this Wolfang dies, we'll be able to get our final Explore and get things underway. You know what I mean? Get things underway. So there we go. Wolfgang in the way of the Hoitzel, in the way of the Hake. And now I'm kind of good. I got Declare Redfield to kill this big boy Hoitzel, who is like the primary threat in the deck, and I'm even going in with the antibody activation and get that positive trade. So now I've got a 4/4 and just annihilated his unit. Now he's like, I gotta get rid of that 4/4. I'm like, you know what? My whole hand's full, EX pocket's full. I want to start. If I explore more, I'm not gonna have any place to put it. So I'm gonna take advantage of that response mana. Go ahead and halt his Iris. We got the buff, but things are like going pretty well. I'm like, we've got a full field. I'm a little iffy on like my units right now, but there you see I'll use a Spiral Pegasus just to take off the shield and get some more damage in there on the Iris. I'm just trying to keep up these positive trades. Now this was a really weird one for me. He opts to evasive action his own unit instead of my Claire. And I was like, what are you doing, man? Like, we could have traded. You could have done the Claire, would have traded. But he has his own plans. He has his own thoughts, and that's why he wanted to play the Hoitzel. But I saw the Hoitzel. I was like, okay, I had enough time. Drop the antibody activation. I get the shield too. And now you're kind of in a bad spot. So now he's like, okay. Yeah. This time I'll hit your Claire. But like, he's got that Iris kind of just building up MP on the top while I'm talking about all this. And I'm like, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I'm trying to figure out how to get this Hoitzel down. I figure my best option is go with the Carlos, give it a shield, and then we'll be good. But he goes for Call to Battle first, and I'm like, okay. That's not that great because he's got +3/+3, and then it's like, okay, another Call to Battle on the response mana. Yikes! So now I'm like, oh crap! How am I gonna deal with all that? Those are gonna be some beefy units, and there it is a giant cat and a giant layer, and they just take out my units. I'm like, okay, here we go. How do we do this? How do we do this? Genprey chumps. Halt coming out for the layer. You can see there that we're kind of the same on mana, since he used all those Call to Battles. And then I'm like, all right, we gotta get our Rashid up and running. Carlos getting in there for more shields. Also gonna trade with that cat, which is what we want to see. Trade. That's what I'm saying. So you're really trying to line up like good positive trades here. So like I said, trying to keep my Rashid big and healthy, opt for the shield. He goes for another call to battle. I'm like, man, stop it, man. I think it failed, so kind of a waste of mana. Feel pretty good about it. He didn't get his tzatziki sauce off fast enough, so we're still sitting in the driver's seat. He's got 0 cards left in deck, so I'm like, what if? I wonder if he has natural cycle or not. I'm not really sure, but we're kind of sitting pretty. We got Rashid for the combo to take out the shield, do a lot of damage there. We're almost back at a antibody activation. He opts for the shield. I'm like, nope, 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 nope. We got that 5 damage on the vengeance, and he just opted. Let's bring it back to the hand then. Oh well. All right. So there it kind of looks like I predicted the layer, but I was like, I just want to get some damage in. Let me just get that damage in. Let me get it in. And we're still kind of just chilling. Now I did think about right there, I did think about going for a Spiral Pegasus to clear out his blockers, but I was like, nah, it'll be okay. And then here I was like, oh no, he used the natural cycle. But if you take a look, he's got 2 mana to our like 6, if you don't count the special mana. And I was like, okay, well, that was rough, but we're still in a really commanding position. If we can keep it up, we'll be doing pretty well. So right, even though he got his whole deck back, he's got really beefy units. Just trying to stay on top of him, stay in control, and close it out. So here I went for a halt, although in retrospect I could have done a vengeance and just tried to kill the blocker. But with 30 HP to 1, it's just a matter of time, at least in my mind. Especially with the lead that I've got. And there you go. Taking out Yan Chun-Li. A variant of one of the best decks in the game. Alright, so the other match I wanted to show you guys was versus Ryu. Another quite common and popular deck. I will preface this one. This guy did not play that well. But just goes to show you, all you need is a little luck. And a little skill. And you can take out even some top decks. That's just the free-to-play life. That's just the free-to-play life. And of course, this deck does get upgrades. You can make it better. You can improve on it and keep trying to climb the ranks with Teal Valentine. So here we go, starting off with the Gen, the Rome, and he's just going to town. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he just dumped his whole hand. How am I going to deal with this? So first of all, we've got the Mega Tortoise. I need to get rid of that because if I kill any of his other units while the turtle's out, then my guys start taking damage, and that's not positive trades. And you know what you remember what I said before? We're all about positive trades here, and this is what I'm talking about. He got another turtle. I was like, come on. So gotta take care of the turtle. Luckily, he sacrifices his turtle, and then we're like, oh, antibody. I'm 1 away again, and I have nothing in my hand to prep, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Off to clear his board, his Spiral Phoenix clears ours, and now he's got a slight advantage here. We did cycle into a Gendrome, so I'm like, all right, we're gonna get our last one. We can get our final explore. We can get those antibody activations online. We'll go ahead and take out that Spiral Phoenix. I was thinking about saving it for the Chill Penguin, but I figured he'd give the Chill Penguin a shield. He ends up never giving the Chill Penguin shield. Someone needs to watch Stout Helm's how to use Chill Penguin video, because he really needed if he used the shield on that Chill Penguin, it could have been steamrolling this game to his advantage. Now, I end up going for a Jill here to kill it. I didn't respond that quickly because I was like, BB Hood. Could have saved 2 damage. Always gotta keep that in mind. Sometimes it's good to check out your replays and stuff. So here he goes again with a Chill Penguin, but I kind of interrupt his ability to play another creature with my antibody activation because I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that needs to get, you need that little bit of extra attack damage to take it out. And he's got that Ryu. I was like, this is a tough kill. Like I could detonate it. I opt for Claire Redfield to just get a body on the field. And there you go. There's a sneaky way to use the turtle. Played it right before my unit hit. So if you played a blocker, Claire's obviously going to die with her 1 HP. Let me get that extra juicy damage. And then going with the raw Spiral Pegasus. Just 2 damage in front. Make sure we kill that Lucia before she evolves, awakens, transforms. And then here's that trick that I was talking about. We use an antibody on the Rashid and then playing our, what is this guy even called again? Hellbat, to pop for 3 instead of 2, which lets us kill that opposing Rashid. And here we go. Now we're just trying to keep his field clean, get our EX pocket clean just in case we start trying to explore some more. Oh man, he had to use a removal spell and his Shinku Hadoken on that Rashid. Feels good after we got the value to kill his Rashid. So that Spiral Pegasus doing some work still. And we're just kind of waiting because we're in the lead. We can just do a wait and respond. I don't get our Claire out fast enough yet again. What are you doing, Durian? But we're doing pretty good. And there looks really cool. I was basically hovering. I was like, most of the stuff in the opposing deck has like 5 HP. We've got a lot of these vengeances kind of building up in our hand. I gotta use them. I ended up drawing into another one, so it's good I used it. But forces out a response from him. We're getting low on cards in deck. 8 for him left, 9 for me left. What should be a 6 HP lead is a 2 HP lead because I keep missing my Claires. And honestly, I have no idea why I played those two right after each other. So I think I was trying to get like a little big brain, and like I'll play the Rashid, then he'll play something, and then I'll play the Carlos to do something about it. But it kind of works out. He plays his Fate Defy. I get the antibody for Rashid to take it out. And we're chilling. And here we go. So here's the awkward part of some games where you start losing some Explore value just because your hand's full of Explore. There's a lot of Explore in this deck as it is. So I played the Gendrome. Didn't even get a creature out of it. And here I'm like, okay, how do I kill this Ken? Because if he gets another unit after the Ken, it's going to be bad news. So I go for this shield, make sure that nothing's going to happen to my boy Mega Tortoise, get 1 damage in, and my plan was to Spiral Pegasus his Ken, but he just didn't have enough blocks. So before I let you guys go, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the other cards that are very common in Jill Explore decks, and either why they're not in here or why you should look into them. The first card is Brought to Light. It chooses a friendly unit with Explore and performs Explore. So it's just going to increase your Explore count and help you get spells into your EX pocket. It is a basic card even though it has the epic rarity, so we could have used it. But if you notice in some of the gameplay, my EX pocket was already jam-packed with cards, and I just had this card stuck in my hand a lot because I either had a full EX pocket already and I didn't want to use any of those cards, or I didn't have any EX cards out on the field, so I opted not to use it. But it is a very common card along with its improved version. The improved version is Bushin Ryu Awakening. you choose a unit with Explore, you explore, but the obtained card costs -1. So Detonate, instead of costing 2, it's going to cost 1. And that is just some huge value that you get out of that. A 1 mana Detonate is no joke, but this is something that's very, very common in Explore decks. Of course, we're not using it, but this is a great way to upgrade that deck if you feel like, man, I'm just not getting antibody activation up fast enough. I want to play an Explore. I want to play like a Bushin Ryu Awakening or 2 and just explore, explore, explore. It is a great way to turbo out your antibody activation if you are really feeling that it's like a little bit too slow. But I felt pretty good about it in this one. But this is one way you guys can improve your deck. Another great card is Unleashed. It is a 3 mana spell that gives 2 attack to a friendly unit. But if your Explore count is 3 or higher, it also gives Flight. So people like to use this card to push in that last little bit of damage. So right when your attack timer is about to hit the other side, you pop down an Unleashed and it flies over the blocker for that cheeky, cheesy win. Give it a try if you want to do that. It is something we could have played, but I really wanted to go for like a more value route. And as you can see, it kind of worked out. But if you're feeling like I need to be a little bit more aggressive and stuff like that, definitely give this card a try. It is quite good. A common win condition of Jill Explore decks is typically Nash. Now he's a 4 mana 1/5 with combo, but his real power activates when you hit that Explore threshold of 3, where he gets +2/+4, so it becomes a massive 3/9 with combo for 4 mana. Talk about value. So that's just insane. And then if you add on the antibody activation, he's going up to 412. So he's super hard to get rid of. He's got combo, he'll have the shield, and you can just beat people down really quickly, especially if you're also using the Unleashed version. You know, assuming you don't antibody, he's 3, you Unleashed, he's 5. With combo, that's 10. You can sneak in 10 damage in real quick if your opponent is not expecting it. And finally, the last card that you can use to upgrade this deck that is Explore specific. There's plenty other great cards you can use to improve your decks outside of Explore, but I thought it's cool to just look at the Explore ones. Is going to be Dmitry Maximov. He's a 5 mana 1/5 with Rush, so similar to Unleashed. Try to catch your opponent off guard and sneak in some damage, but this man gets +1 attack for each time you use Explore. So it's really easy to get 3. You're probably hitting 4 or 5 by the end of the game when his win condition Dmitry comes into play. So he's going to be a 6/5 with Rush, and if your opponent does not have a blocker ready for that, or is not quick on their fingers, they are going to get demolished. On top of that, when you have Victory, gain +2 HP, sometimes they just drop a blocker that only has 2 attack, and he just gets the HP back, and you're like, okay, well, you still got to deal with it. So this is a pretty fun card. I have seen some comments in the Discord that he is a little bit inconsistent against, quick finger players or players who know what they're doing. And that is all I have for you guys today for this Jill free-to-play deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys are looking to improve at the game, the #1 thing I recommend you do is find some content creators. The ones that I can mention off the top of my head are Stout Helm and Horrible Chopstick. They're pretty great streamers, being Iowa the Boat and Chris D. They are also great. But the main thing is not to follow them. It is to go into the Teppen community Discord. Find that. I will put a link if I can in the description. I don't know if I have invite rights to that, but that is a great place. There's a lot of people talking about decks there. There's custom Teppen creation. It is a great place to be if you want to be part of the community a little bit more than just playing the game. And you guys can always get some feedback on your deck there. People are very nice, so do not be shy. Thank you again for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you next week in another video, some other time, with more free-to-play decks, more Road to 1K. I'll see you then, so keep on learning, keep on having fun, and I hope to see you in another video.